And we are green. Evenly start inside line with the edge.
Mark Jackson just slower than Wesley Holland.
Drivers around the corners as long as they hit the...
Yeah. Off lid.
Alrighty, everyone, and welcome to the over-the-top design, the Lugnuts Throwback series, coming your way tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll take 8 drivers, we'll cut it down to 4 this evening, and up in the booth here tonight, as always, Matt in the booth, and the best female iRacing broadcaster around, Miss Rachel Thornhill. How you doing?
Doing great. What an intro, though. I got to give it to you on that one. That was a good one.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I planned on doing an epic intro, got it done, man, but this is going to be a fun night at Hot Atlanta here. We're going to take 8 drivers, we're going to trim that down to 4, and once we do that, we will know who our final 4 going into North Wilkesboro next week's going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this race as well. Like you mentioned, I mean, we're about to cut, this final amount of drivers in half tonight. So, then next we go to North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, and that should be a fun season finale, and if you take a look at the guys involved in this, all right, folks, coming into tonight, pretty much locked in, Rob Haynes. I feel like he's got enough of the gap he's in, Mitchell Reeves as well. Delta should be okay, is also the real battle between Scott Patton and Ronald Klein for that final cutoff position. And the thing of it is, Ronald Klein's going to need some things to go his way here tonight to make himself a Final 4 vehicle. And of course, you got to think, Ronald's trying to take down the guy that just picked up the Cup Series championship. So for Scott, it could be 2 in a row here.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, for Ronald to be able to lock in that last position, Patton would have to have a pretty bad night for that to happen. You never know, though. I mean, you have some of these other guys that are not racing to be in that Final 4, and are probably just trying to maybe get a win. With it being the second to last race of the season. So you just never know if anything can happen, cautions, whatever, that could possibly help Ronald or maybe hurt him. So,
well, and that too, and if you start looking back, I'll go grab my statistics from the last time earlier in the year when we came here to Atlanta. It was actually race number 2 of the year back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And looking at it, looks to be, I gotta go all the way back here. Hang on just a second, folks. But if you go back, it was Randy Arms, I believe, that got the win. Dominated that race. Well, I tell you what, right behind him, it was Mitchell Reeves. And if you go off where they finished last time here, Ronald Klein finished 8th and Scott Patton finished 6th. So, with that being said, Ronald's going to have to do a little bit better this go around here at Atlanta to lock himself in.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I don't know, with Scott coming off of that win with the Cup Series, I mean, I'm sure he has a lot of momentum going. I'm sure he feels pretty confident about, what he can do here. So we'll have to see, where he ends up. I'd say definitely with qualifying too. See exactly like if he qualifies towards the front like he normally does.
Well, let's grab our Abruzzi SKSamRacing.com Cup Series champion and talk to him here tonight. Scott Patton, Matt, and Rachel Thornhill in the booth. For the first time, I get to announce you as the Abruzzi SKSamRacing.com Cup champion. What do you think you have to do to make the Final Four here tonight in the throwback cars? Rip. Scott's not there. Scott. Well, we'll try it again later. Well, usually he's there, and I betted on him being there, and he wasn't there. So there we go. We'll try to get him here in a little bit. That was a oops.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, that was funny. Hey, we got to finish this year out strong, right? With some oopses along the way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we can't have a perfect broadcast every time.
No, we're not that good. You're just, it happens. So, back on our track facts here and what we know coming in tonight. Last time we were here, well, we had a no caution event. Everything went green. You think we're going to see the same thing here this go around at Atlanta?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it really just depends on, if any of these guys want to get aggressive. I mean, like we said, it is one of the very last races of the season. And also another thing too that we normally don't have is they have a fast repair tonight. So, some of these guys that'll definitely come in handy if we end up having any cautions.
And,
So,
and Randy Arms right now, I'm kind of surprised. Sixth fastest on the charts. He come here last time. He led the most laps. Pretty much dominated the race. Right now, sixth in practice. Not what I expected out of Randy.
I also think it could be that Randy's trying to take it easy during practice, and he might try to, get a really good qualifying lap.
Well,
So,
with checkered flag out here on the practice session, we're going to go qualifying here tonight. Line this field up for this race this evening. And man, oh man, Jack Watts rolling out right now. If you're Ronald Klein, you got to be kind of nervous. You've got a shot in that city number 76 machine, but you got to dethrone Scott Patton to do it. Man, Patton's got the momentum on his side. We're going to have to wait here 125 laps. And that's another thing about tonight. We're going 25 laps further than what we did here in the race here back. I believe it was back in September was the official date that we ran here at Atlanta.
yeah, and 25 laps can make a huge difference. You just never know what's going to happen within 25 laps. You never know. I mean, like you can have a caution, and that can, really bunch up the field again, and then it's anybody's race. So, um, so yeah, I mean, this definitely changes the odds compared to what it was like the previous race.
Yeah, it does. And another thing I'm going to take a look at here under the track facts banner. Take a look at the track temp. 84 degrees out there, or 128 degrees track temp. If we go back, and it's 84 degrees air temp. If we go back to when we were here last, we're about 4 degrees warmer than what we were here back in September when we ran here in the Atlanta at this racetrack earlier in the year. It was actually race number 2 on the year, September 29th to be exact. So a little bit warmer, so that could play a factor as well. Just a
Yeah.
tad. Just a tad. And as I say
Right.
that, Randy Orm's top of the board. Who would have ever guessed that one? The guy that dominated here last time, top of the board this time.
See, I had a feeling he was holding back in practice.
You know what it is? He's just trying to show off, right? He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hold back, and then I'm just gonna go out there and get it."
Yeah, that could be part of it too. But I mean, some of these names that are up there, we can't be surprised. I mean, you got Randy, you've got Mitchell, you've got Rob Haynes. Those are the typical ones that tend to be up there towards the front when it comes to qualifying.
Yeah, and you take a look at it here. Randy Orms with the pole, so far the pole, I should say. Brandon Thornhill coming around here to turn his lap in. Thornhill in the pink and white car. Now, he joined this series kind of late in the year, but has had some good runs in that number 68 machine. Looking for him to do pretty good here next season. But right now, it's Randy Orms, and by his absence, and because he wasn't on TeamSpeak when I hollered for him, I'm interested about Scott Patton. Now he rolls, just as I say that, so he's rolling now, but I was kind of wondering if he was missing there for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he can get around as soon as possible because we're already starting to get towards the very end of qualifying.
Well, I will tell you what, we're going to watch our Cup champion here qualify this Stone River Outfitters machine. See where he puts it on the board in relation to that number 76 of Ronald Klein. And I do believe Ronald is done qualifying. So we're going to try to give him an interview here. So let's get Ronald here up in the booth from the Over the Top Motorsports team. Ronald Klein, Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Go ahead.
Alrighty, man. You're rolling off seventh here tonight. You're on that bubble trying to outrun Scott Patton. Have you got anything left in the tank of that number 76?
We did a run earlier. It felt really good. If I can just manage the car it's really tight and really loose, believe it or not. So it's tight in, it's loose through the center, loose off, and it's still tight off. Tight in the front, loose in the rear. So it's really just gotta manage the car and try to do the best we can.
Well, I tell you what, just for your information, from the last time we were here back in the second race of the year, it's about 4 degrees hotter out there. That kind of makes sense, a little bit looser coming off these corners.
Yeah, it's 128 degrees right now, and it's going to continue to get hotter since it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we still haven't hit the hottest part of the day yet.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be crazy here tonight. I think we topped out, I looked, the air temp topped out at 80 the last race. So it's definitely going to be higher than that today. So,
I believe so.
Best of luck to you down there in the Over the Top Motorsports team, buddy. Go out there and have some fun.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There we go, Ronald Klein down there, and we're going to get him gridded up. What do you think, Rachel? We're going racing, and while I was talking to Ronald, Scott Patton qualified 9th.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he qualified 9th, and Ronald qualified 7th. So, as of right now, Ronald kind of has the upper hand when it comes to time. So.
Well, we'll take a look at the starting grid, and man, oh man, this is going to be interesting all night. Randy Arms, Mitchell Reeves, front row at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Row number 2, Rob Haynes and Brandon Thornhill. Look at that qualified effort for Thornhill. Row number 3 out there, Andrew Schulte and Jeffrey Merck. Row number 4, Ronald Klein and Jack Watts. Row number 5, Scott Patton and Judd Dangelson. Row number 6, John Pensola and Mr. Ray Richer. Row number 7 here tonight, Wally and Trent Drum. And that will round out your 14 entering cars for this 125 lap race from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Over the Top Designs series as well. So folks, buckle up at home. We're going to go racing. Rachel, bets on it going green flag here tonight?
No, I don't think so. I would love for it to go green, but with as many cars as we have, and also, I mean, we heard Ronald talking about how the car's handling, how it's loose and tight at the same time. Based off of what I saw in practice, a lot of these guys couldn't hold on to the car too much. So I have a feeling we might see at least one caution.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. One yellow is probably going to at least happen here tonight, but it doesn't. We're going to find out here in very short order. Field halfway down the back straightaway. And you see it, funny enough, lined up right now, nose to tail, Scott Patton, Ronald Klein, Ronald right in front of him on the inside row. Those two fighting for a position to make the round of 4, and there's already a bonus point gone. Randy Arms kind of sniped that one away. We got to keep track of laps led and leaders here tonight, but we're going to go green between these cars. Green flag will fly as they come out of turn 4. Well, Rachel, here we go. Green in the air. We're racing here at Atlanta.
Yeah, it looks like Mitchell actually got a pretty good run, but I mean, you got Randy trying to drive it in.
Yeah, Randy.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, and I was gonna say you have Rob right behind him, but Rob got kind of loose. So unfortunately he had to back off a little bit.
Rob Haynes backs off the throttle like we talked about. Randy Arms goes to the race lead, if I could talk tonight. While he's there in the 75, running 14th right now, hanging on. Everybody working this out. Jeff Merck right there in the 60 as we complete lap number 1 of this 125 lap race. And back here, Jack Watt's gonna lose a spot. Here comes Scott Patton forward. He's gonna be right behind Ronald Klein now. And this could be big. Patton to the bottom, looking to take a spot away from Klein.
Yeah, I mean they are right side by side. Patton goes up.
Go ahead.
Okay, they saved that one though. That was a really close one.
Yeah, we just about had our 2 points playoff bubble drivers in the outside wall there early.
Yeah.
They gathered it back up as they rocket down the back straightaway. Thornhill right in front of those 2.
Right. Thornhill actually gave up 2 positions because he was in 4th and now he's currently in 6th.
Tell you what, right now, up in front of them, guy having a good run, Jeffrey Merck in the Exxon 60 machine underneath Andrew Schulte. That is the battle for 4th. He'll jump in front of him, out front though. Right back where he finished off in September, Randy Arms leads at Atlanta Motor Speedway right now down the back straightaway. Still really early on tonight, and Scott Patton looking for a move halfway down the back in the 46 as well.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to the inside of Thornhill, trying to battle for that 6th position. And then you also got Ronald Klein that has passed Thornhill too. I don't know, Thornhill keeps falling back further and further. So I'm not sure if he's just giving up the positions because he's not actually running for, for that top 4. So it could be that he's just trying to give these guys some room.
Yeah, and you take a look at this right here as you see Patton going through it. Yes, we're pretty much calling this a 2-man shootout here for that final spot in the final 4. The other 3 is pretty safe heading into next week. And don't forget, folks, we'll have a special pre-race show next week just like we did for the Cup cars last night. Going to be next week from North Wilkesboro as you got Andrew Schulte holding up Ronald Klein right now. Well,
yeah, they're getting extremely. It looks like Schulte. I mean, Schulte was pretty much on the back bumper of Pat. But I don't know, right? I wouldn't get that close right now because Patton. That's the last thing he needs is to possibly get a bump from Schulte that will just throw him off. Because I know that they're kind of fighting these cars right now.
Yeah, they definitely are, and up front you can tell it too because they're not really separating. Up the front we got a car on the apron. That's going to be an Abruzzi car trying to get back there to him. It's going to be Ray Richer having a little bit of a problem there in the 44. He'll gather it back up. Trent Drum right there in the 12. The Abruzzi cars here not faring as well as we normally see them right now after 8 laps.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're just not getting the run that they need, or if they're having any issues with their cars. Cause yeah, I mean it's pretty much just between Trent and Judd that they're pretty much battling it out right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Over the first 8 laps, everybody's kind of just, like you said, trying to hang on to the race car. Early on, we talked to Ronald. He talked about how loose/tight the car was. And I think everybody's just trying to fight their efforts here to keep the car under them right now.
Yeah, it looks like Judd kind of stayed on that bottom line. Trent went extremely high, and that really slowed him down. So Judd was able to, make that pass and move to the 11th position.
And right here, what we got to talk about here, we take the bonus point off the board here for the pole, the only bonus points that are left out there for Scott Patton and Ronald Klein to get are the laps led and most laps led. And I do believe right now Randy Arms showing the pace, possibly get the most laps led. So bonus points wise, they need to get up there and lead at least one lap, even if it's through your point cycle, or your pit cycle, excuse me. And I think Ronald may have to do that. He may have to play a little bit of strategy, get up there, get that bonus point. That'll cut that lead down by uh, 1 point there. And you, again, everything's going to be about trying to pull this together here tonight.
Right. And like you mentioned, yeah, that cuts down 1 point, but sometimes 1 point is all you need, you know. When it comes to, you know, going from 8 to 4, 1 point can be all the difference sometimes. So this is going to be a really close race between Ronald Klein and Scott Patton, I think, when it comes to points.
Yeah, you look at it, it's 7 out coming in. That's your difference. A 7-point difference. 1 point, that'd make it 6. Ronald was to win the race. That'd be another 3 bonus points right there. Next thing you know, we got a dogfight wherever Scott Patton finishes. And the good thing about Scott Patton is he controls his own destiny here tonight. If he gets up there and finishes in the top 3, it doesn't matter what Ronald Klein does. It's not going to matter at the end of the day, right? If he can get up there and finish up front. Now, if he has a bad night, he's kind of giving that destiny to Ronald Klein, and Ronald Klein can go to decide his fate. But it's always better to come into these races as a driver with everything in your control.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you there. And I mean, if Patton's able to kind of stay consistent like he's doing right now, because right now Patton's currently in the 4th position. If he's able to kind of keep himself where he's at right now, and then towards the end of the race, maybe move up a couple positions, even if it's just in the top 3, then he could pretty much lock himself in to that top 4.
And I'll tell you something else. And I will say this too, going towards the spring/summer season of these cars, if these guys haven't took notice already, they need to take notice of Randy Arms. The only reason he's not in the playoff picture is he missed a couple of races. If he doesn't miss any races next year, we're looking at somebody that can win a title. I mean, honestly, he's been dominant.
Oh no, I definitely agree with you there. Yeah, for sure. And that's like you said, it's only because he missed races that he's not in this, in this final cut. That's the only reason why. So yeah, I mean, they definitely have to take notice for the next season that he's definitely somebody they need to watch out for.
Yeah, and that is going to be the most interesting thing about this, right? I mean, you look at the 83 out front leading, how dominant he is here tonight. He's been dominant other places. And that is what I would have to say about it. When we go into this next season that will be coming up really rapidly here, yeah, they're going to have to really step up their game to beat him, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Randy's just pretty much proven, how dominant he is, in this car. So they'll definitely have to step their game up. But as we were talking, Rob Haynes asked Mitchell for the 2nd position. So Rob is definitely he's trying
coming.
to run. He should be okay for now, but. Like we mentioned earlier, he really needs to finish in the top 3 to lock in that position.
Yeah, he does. He really needs to finish up front. And right now, as we fight through, see Wally there in the 75, Jeff Merck, Scott Patton there as well. Randy Arms leads this battle up front. And man, it's been a pretty clean race. We seen it last time we were here at Atlanta. We went caution free. As we got a side-by-side battle behind them. That is going to be Ronald Klein alongside Andrew Schulte. Klein not really moving forward the way he would like to be so far. But here's kind of the point I was making. We've seen this earlier on in the first race here, holding true for race number 2 right now, green flag so far. And guys, this race 25 laps further than the first race we done of the year here. So again, we're almost to that 25 lap mark, and we'll get ready to start looking at pit stops here before long.
Right. It's like Schulte cleared Klein, so now that moves him into the 6th position.
You got to feel bad for Klein here. He just can't seem to get that car to move forward the way he wants.
Yeah, and like we had talked about earlier, more than likely what he's probably going to have to do is pull some type of pit strategy to try and get himself towards the front, you know, to be able to run Pat down in some way.
Well, the only good thing, and the good thing he's got going for him, is Randy's out front. Scott's not getting any bonus points as of yet. So depending on how this pit cycle plays, the strategy plays out to the end. Pit-wise, there's Thornhill right in the mix, Jack Watson. Everybody pretty spread out here early on. Kind of what we expected to see here tonight, Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely did. We expected them to be kind of spread out, not really, you know, not really be that close to each other. And that's typical. That tends to happen. But then, you know, if there would happen to be a caution, that's probably, you know, that's when they'll get bunched up again. Or maybe, you know, whenever we do the pit cycles, you know, some of these guys might bunch up a little bit, but for the most part, that's to be expected.
And another thing we got to talk about, Atlanta, notorious for pit road problems. We've seen it earlier in the week. I think it was the Xfinity Series that was here, had a bit of an issue. Cup, I don't remember seeing anything too crazy last night, or on Sunday night, excuse me, wrong night, that occurred. So it went pretty smooth for that. But hearing these 87s cars are not handling right perfectly for these guys, so pit road could be a treacherous place for them. Ronald Klein sideways out of turn number 2. That car on an edge back here, and he is starting to fall back. He needs to pull some type of strategy, I think. Maybe come down before these guys and get tires and just kind of try something.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you there. I mean, and something is not right with the car. I'm guessing he's just having an issue handling it. And I don't know what the tire wear is like on these cars. But I mean, we're like 26 laps in almost.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how much the tire fall off is, but yeah, he might want to possibly, you know, come in and change tires. Maybe that might help him handle the car a little bit better.
Folks, I had a little bit of a disconnection on the mic for a moment, but we're back at it here and rolling as we're 26 complete.
Yeah, you got Scott Patton to the inside of Mitchell Reeves right now, and Mark was right behind him as well.
Yeah, this battle for third seat. Oh, Patton in the grass. Wow.
Yeah, he got extremely loose, but he was able to save it.
Yeah.
But obviously Mitchell was able to pull away because of that, so that put Patton, you know, right back in the 4th position. So
Here we go again. Scott Patton sitting right there in the 46 Stone River machine. And what do you know? Scott Patton could put himself in playoff contention again here in the Over the Top Designs Tuesday Night Throwback Series. I know he was in playoff contention in the truck, made a mistake there, didn't get that one. I believe he was in playoff contention there for the Scoops Old Fashioned Xfinity Series, didn't get that one. And then last night Sunday night coming through with a championship now, with his eyes on 2 championships here in this 2020-2021 winter season. And folks, you thought this season was crazy? wait a few more weeks. We'll be back for the spring 2021 season. 12 weeks of racing coming your way.
Yeah, it looks like Merck got the pass on Patton, so that moves Merck up to the 4th position. But it looks like Patton went on the high side to try and battle with Mitchell Reeves.
Yeah, he's using that outside momentum and doing a really good job of it, keeping that Stone River 46 wound up there, up above that mellow yellow machine underneath them. So he's doing a good job keeping the car wound up there.
Yeah, I mean he's somehow found a way to make that outside line work. I know we did see that with Trent Drum earlier, where he just wasn't able to make it work. But now Patton's starting to fall back. Now he's falling behind Merck.
It's almost like you can give that a shot for a lap or two as he got right on the bumper of Merck, and then it kind of just falls away from you and the tires go away and that option kind of ceases to exist.
Yeah, it looks like for some reason it doesn't work. I'm wondering what happened towards the back, because all I heard was oh crap. And so I was like, okay, something must have happened towards the back, but now I don't see anything.
Normally when somebody says, oh crap, that's never a good sign.
Right, that's why I was like, let me see what is going on towards the back of the field. But no, I think someone got a little loose, but then saved it, so we're good. Nothing major.
So when you're as we got a battle here between Patton, Haynes, and Reeves, Patton there looking to pick up a spot and does. So when you're at the real racetrack and you hear your driver, aka Brandon, come over the radio and say, "Oh crap!" What's your first thought?
Yeah, we're wrecking. That's exactly what I think. Like, that's the first thing I think, and I'm like, okay, how much is this gonna cost me?
Break out the checkbook.
Right, exactly. Because it's not like iRacing. You break stuff. Yeah, you just pretty much see your bank account just like go into the negatives.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, you're like, yeah, we had a beautiful, fine race car when we started tonight. Now I get to pay for more parts. Why? Because you wrecked it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so luckily with iRacing, we don't have that problem.
Yeah. Andrew Schultz picking up a spot there. He'll go to the bottom. Great move there for him. And Schultz to 5th. Everybody else is much single file up front. Patton up here inside the top 5. Randy Orms continues to lead. And we talked about Randy Orms, who dominated the last time we were here. And once again looks to be doing it again here over the first 35 laps of this run.
Yeah, I mean, Randy is pretty much checked out from the rest of the field. But I do have to say, though, in second, we have Merck. Merck has moved up. I mean, he started in 6th, and he's already moved his way up to 2nd.
Merck having a smooth line. Look at him entering in about a lane higher than your leader, arcing it down, taking care of the car. Just a smooth run for that Exxon 60 machine. And we got to believe we're getting pretty close here to pit stop.
Well, we have Patton coming down pit road right now.
Well, there you go. One car to pit road is Scott Patton. A smart move. Be the first one on pit road. Take that opportunity away from the guys behind you. Come down. Just don't mess up your stop. He locked the brakes up a little bit, but that'll be all right. He stopped in his stall. Good stop for Patton. Now we got to look at our leaders. When do they come? Patton already on pit road. Arms and Merck seem to be staying out. Rob Haynes back here as well. Andrew Schultz in the mix. Schultz right there in the 09 looking for 4th.
Right. At that time, Scott Patton and Ray Richard were the only ones on pit road at that moment. And also Jack Watts. So Ray Richard and Jack Watts are currently a lap down.
Meanwhile, we got a lead change. Jeff Merck was able to get around the 83 New race leader here at Atlanta Motor Speedway is Jeffrey Merck in that black and color Exxon 60 machine to the race lead here at lap 38 of this event.
Yeah, but Randy's coming. I mean, and then he has Schulte right behind him.
Almost like Randy's car kind of fell off a little bit there. Of course, it's not going to hurt him too bad. We're getting close to stop, so he'll be able to get tires on that machine. But he's definitely falling back a little bit in contact between him and Schulte.
Yeah, something's definitely going on with his car, because now he's fallen back behind Mitchell as well. So he's fallen back to fourth now. So there's definitely something going on, and it could be tires. You know, I mean, we're about to be on lap 40, and so it could be that his tires have just kind of given up.
And you look at the guys that were just off pit road, Scott Patton being one of them. He is a roughly second and a half faster than what lap times your race leaders are running right now. Meanwhile, Schulte going to take the lead from Mert. Great run for Schulte up front now. Another lead change. Lead change number 2 moves Schulte to the race lead, and with a lead change here from Atlanta. Now Schulte picking it up. It seems like late in the going, we've got a lot of comers and goers here. Randy Arms has hit pit road here on his pit box right now. He's going to take 4 fresh tires, lap 40 for him. Merck looks to be checking up. He'll be coming in this time as well. So we're going to start cycling through that green flag stops. As Merck, pretty good entrance there to pit road. No big deal. He'll hit pit road. Now Schulte leads. Expecting him to see him probably next time by. Got about 5 or 6 cars still yet to pit.
All right, you have Haynes that's on pit road. Thornhill on pit road as well.
So our first round of green flag stops here tonight, as it's become the norm here in the loose Lugnuts series across the board. Green flag runs has kind of become the normal here. It's Andrew Schulte out front with Mitchell Reeves. I'd have to go back to look, but when is the last time we had a caution here in this series?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, good thing is I'll let you keep an eye on the track, and I'll go dig through
Okay.
our history books here. Because, let's see. Darlington, we had 1 yellow, so let's see if anything after Darlington. Daytona, we had 1. Then last week we went green. So think about that. Darlington, Daytona, we had 1 caution. Before that, Dover, well, we had 3 there. So really, you know, last week we went green. This week we're looking to go green.
Right.
It's been a few weeks since we've had an actual in-race caution. And think about it, only 1 in both those races.
Right, yeah. They only had 1. So,
And if I remember,
we'll see.
if I remember right, wasn't one of them really early on, I think at Daytona?
Yeah, that one was like, I think we were only 3 laps in. Like, it was really, really early. So, but yeah, I mean, so we might, there's a chance that we might have 1. But honestly, there was potential for a caution to have happened already. But because I mean, we've had a couple of these guys get extremely close to each other, but they've just been able to save it and not, you know,
Not get in trouble.
Yeah.
And we've just had a pretty important pass there. Scott Patton just unlapped himself from Andrew Schulte. That puts Patton back on the lead lap. If a yellow was to come out, he would now not be trapped a lap down, and that's pretty significant. Because Ronald Klein, he is back here in 10th. Scored 1 lap down, man. And what happened to Ronald on pit road? It doesn't look like this run's coming together for him tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what could have happened. But yeah, I mean, unless a caution comes out or something, you know, Ronald's pretty far back and he'd have to make up a lot of ground.
Everybody off a turn right here. 46 of these 125 in the books here tonight. at the Atlanta Motor Speedway here on Extreme Film TV for the over-the-top designs Tuesday night throwback series. And I want to give a big shout out to over-the-top designs. Don't look your best, look over the top. Go get all your iRacing paint needs at Over the Top Designs on Facebook. Also now doing custom cars. You can get your custom car made to look exactly like your iRacing car at Over the Top Designs on Facebook. How was that for a promo?
That was good. That was
Alright,
good. I gotta give it to you.
All right, as we continue to run, Andrew Schulte out front, leading the way. Randy Arms right there behind him, and Randy Arms right there behind him, getting ready to unlap himself. And Randy actually is going to cycle out behind Scott Patton, so you know what that means. When this cycles through, if Randy don't get to him in a lap or two, Patton's getting ready to get an extra bonus point. Right now, Patton is the first car on fresh tires, so
Right.
you know, this is going to be interesting because Patton should, in theory, cycle through to the race lead, grab that extra bonus point. That would extend that lead to 8 points overall. Klein here is for 49 into this one at Atlanta Motor Speed.
Has yeah, because I mean we should have I think Schulte and well Judd is actually pitting right now, but I don't think Schulte has pitted. He's the only one that hasn't pitted yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
You were correct. Because, yeah, he has not stopped. He's actually coming now. So we'll get ready to give that bonus point to Scott Patton here in just a moment. Patton out in front of Arms. Great run for him. Great strategy. And again, that's just padding that gap if something goes wrong. Out of turn 2, Andrew Schulte on pit road. And right now we got a battle between Mitchell Reeves and Jeff Mernt. That's 5th and 4th, respectively, on the racetrack right now. We're going to be halfway through this race here before we're long here, Rachel. Looking at 62 as our halfway point. We're about 12 laps away from that. This race burning through quick here tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's all due to these guys not having any cautions so far. In which they've done really well, you know, keeping that together. I mean we've had a couple close calls, but besides that, you know, they've been able to keep it clean and, you know, green the whole time.
And 4. Well, what do you think, since we got a little bit of a break here, what do you think about we go crank it up here for a little bit and let these fans at home enjoy a little bit of crank it up?
Yeah, why not?
All right, folks, we'll be back here in just a moment on Extreme CMTV. Meanwhile, Randy Arms grabs the race lead, so we'll touch on that. But it did look like Scott Patton led a lap, so he got that bonus point. But we're going to go crank it up here, but we'll hold here because it looks like Patton's going back to the bottom if Randy completes this pass totally. Patton putting up a fight on the inside there, Rachel. Great move by him.
Yeah, it looks like Randy's kind of slowing up though, being on that. Well, he was slowing down, being on that outside line, but he was able to cut down on Patton.
He's able to get down. Now we'll go to crank it up here. Enjoy some crank it up here from Atlanta. Alrighty, folks, here at Extreme MT, back with you here after the Crank It Up. We had a little bit of drama during Crank It Up. Wally had some sort of issue. I believe it may have been a tire, or Jack, excuse me, it was Jack. We believe it may have been a tire failure, not for sure, on that 77 Budweiser machine. Sent him to pit road in a fast repair. But we were able to keep it mean and green for you during the Crank It Up segment. So no big change up front here. It's Scott Patton, Randy Arms still leads. Jeff Merck there in third with Mitchell Reeves right there behind him.
Yeah, and then you also have Andrew Schulte in fifth and Rob Haynes in sixth. Nothing really has changed. I mean, just going back throughout the field, you've got Klein. Ronald Klein is in eighth right now.
Yeah, Kine is not having the night that he. I think he's going to be a little bit frustrated after the night. For him, it's just oh man, it just makes me want to cry for him, man. The year that he has had in some of these series, what could go wrong has gone wrong for him. Bit back over and over and over. He's tried everything he knows to do. I know for a fact from changing his sim rig positioning, the pedal positioning, the arm positioning, it's just not been his year. And right now I'm running 8th, right behind Brandon Thornhill, and nothing he can do right now.
Right. I mean, because you got Patton up there currently in second. And I mean, just looking at Ronald's times, I mean, right now he is over 26 seconds behind the leader. So I mean, he has so much ground that he would have to make up.
Yeah, and with the looking of this thing to go green flag, like we kind of expect here, as we're about halfway through this run here tonight. I don't think we're going to see that, knock on wood. I think it's going to go green, and it's going to just be hard for him to make that up. And I understand how he feels. That's the thing. As many of you know, I do run a league on Thursday nights, and I've had the same thing. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong throughout the year. And it just makes you question yourself as a driver, and it's not really your fault. You just, it's so hard to explain the mentality of sim racing. Yes, it's a simulator. But mentally, it's the same as go climbing in a race car. You've got to have that mental ability to shake it off and move forwards. And sometimes, if you start off with a bad egg, that bad egg never goes away throughout the year. Well, as we're looking here, that's going to be Reeves right behind Jeffrey Merck. And an update, I did talk to Merck a week ago now. Mrs. Merck with that hurt ankle is doing much better, so I'm happy to hear that. He's definitely doing better. That was definitely not a good thing. Merck let me know she was doing better, so that's always good. And as we run down here halfway into this one at Atlanta Motor Speedway tonight, what are you thinking? You think we're going to see anything crazy?
Something is wrong with Scott Patton.
Something wrong with Patton. Oh my goodness. Same thing?
That's exactly this. Oh, he has damage on the front.
Oh no.
Yeah. And honestly, this kind of looks like the exact same thing that happened with Jack Watts, because he had the same type of thing going on.
Is that a motor?
I'm not sure. I think it looks like it.
It's going to be a fast repair, but man, oh man, if this don't kick the door wide open for Ronald Klein, if we do not have a caution, Scott Patton will use a fast repair. And up on Jack's, he'll get it looked at. Let's go see what happened to Scott Patton. What in the world? Is this a tire issue? No, he just got loose off of turn number 2, slammed the inside wall, and stayed below the white line, so no caution. My, oh my, Patton off of pit road, but he's going to be a lap down. Man, oh man. Now, if you're Ronald Klein, got to get that 76 car forward. Guys, it's going to be a barn burner now. It was an 8-point gap with that bonus point that Patton did get. I'm actually going to check to make sure he let it out. Let's go double check that before I say that. Yep, 1 lap. So he did get that bonus point. It's an 8-point gap. If he finishes 12th, Patton, is who we're talking about here. Oh, by the way, he's 2 laps down. Wow. So if he finishes 12th here, Ronald Klein would need to finish 4th or better to get himself into the playoffs, Rachel.
Yeah, and he's currently in 7th right now.
Now keep in mind, Scott could technically lose one more spot. Jack Watts is on the same lap. And, oh man. And he used his only fast repair here tonight.
Right.
So if he gets in trouble again, it's a whole nother ball game because he could lose one more spot. Now, if Ronald Klein gets up there and gets a bonus point and gets that point back, he'll move that position forward or back one, and he would have to finish basically 4th or better to get into the championship door. This is huge, and the radio has to be lighting up for Ronald Klein right now behind Brandon Thornhill. Probably sitting there, Brando, get out of the way, bud. I gotta go. I gotta go get some track position.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Ronald Klein, you don't want to get too excited here and wreck your car, right? You want to keep the car under you because you've got a golden opportunity. The golden goose just laid a golden egg. And uncharacteristically for Scott Patton wrecking that car. Now, he's on fresh tires, but what this is also going to do is put Scott Patton off his tire cycle. So this could be very, very interesting. This is Mert commenting in the chat. No problem. I was concerned. I really was. I talked to Merck about it and was trying to keep tabs on it. I appreciate you watching each and every week. Listen to Merck every time. A lot of fun to have somebody that comes out every week to check in. And what do you think, Rachel, now that we've had this development? Oh boy, it's juicy now.
Who? What are you talking about?
With this development with Patton, it's kind of
Okay.
made this whole thing a little bit more juicy. And what we can see happening.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's definitely changed this whole race between Patton and Klein, because I mean Klein pretty much needed Patton to not have a good night, in order to possibly close that gap in points for him to lock in that last position, and in the top 4. So, and unfortunately for Patton, he's not having a good night because of that issue. I mean, that just came out of nowhere,
Yeah, it kind of popped up out of nowhere, and now he's kind of fighting from behind a little bit. The only good thing is he did have that cushion coming in. That is the only good thing that helps him right now in this situation. Ronald Klein would have to pick up a couple of more spots. He's capable of doing it. He's 26 seconds behind the leader, but he is about 12 seconds behind Andrew Schulte, which would just be the spot that he needs. So, this is going to be fun to watch how this cycles through right now. Out front, as we touched on earlier. Once again, dominating here tonight, well, it's Mr. Randy Arms.
Yeah, I mean, Randy's pretty much, as long as he stays consistent and doesn't have, he could pretty much win this race. There's really not much that anybody else could do unless something happens. That off the wall, like what we saw with Patton.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Unless something happens. Yeah, it is, and that's the unfortunate part for Patton. He's kind of out there in this lonely world by himself right now. And again, making up spots is going to be difficult, but right here is a spot. Ronald Klein got his eye on Brandon Thornhill. Take that sixth spot here tonight. That would put him up to 6 spots ahead of Scott and Patton. Right here, Ronald Klein could jump underneath Brando here for the position. We've ran 74 laps here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Scott Patton putting pressure on the Super Flow white and a pink machine of Brandon Thornhill. Tell you what, that takes a very brave man to drive a pink race car. I don't know that I don't know that I could do that.
Oh, for some reason I'm not seeing a pink car. It could be my trading paints that's not working correctly.
Yeah, I got him in a white and pink machine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's pink. Maybe it's a little bit reddish, but it's more of a pink color.
Oh, okay.
We got
Yeah.
we got to pick on Brandon a little bit. That's my daily job. Right here is we're 77 into this one of the 125, and these two kind of running right with one another. I don't know, Rach. I don't know how this is gonna pan out, but I do know it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Ronald definitely needs to somehow get the pass on Thornhill so he can move his way up to the front, but Thornhill's not budging.
Yeah, Thornhill's not giving that spot up lightly. Let's put it that way.
No.
Right now, though, a race leader as we got pit stops looks like again Randy Arms taking his stop. Race leader is now Mitchell Reeves out front. Randy Arms again taking his stop a little bit earlier. And now we're going to have another one on pit road, Jeffrey Merck. So we're in our second round of stops here at lap 77 here tonight. The round of stops number 2. Up there with the 09 of Schulte trying to hang on with 48 laps to go. So we will have at least one more stop here for the leaders. They can't go 48 laps, I don't think. The 0-1 it might. Now, Patton will take his final stop here a bit later than everybody else. We'll see how that all cycles through. Because right now, Patton would technically, I think, be 1 lap down at the moment.
Yes, he's 1 lap down right now.
So it's going to get a little complicated while we go through pit stops until everybody cycles out with what is going to be 46 laps to go here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. In this pretty calm event we've seen here tonight. Ronald Klein up to 5th through this cycle of stops. I think I'd come to pit road before Brandon Thornhill and try to grab that spot away from Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really smart to do. Because, I mean, to be honest, Thornhill's pretty much the only thing that's holding him up right now.
Yeah, Thornhill's kind of like the rolling roadblock at the moment in that number 68 machine. And with 80 on the board, Ronald running out of time to make up the gap, get himself into the final 4. Scott Patton kind of opening up the door with a little bit of a mistake earlier. Came around, slammed the inside wall, kind of opened this door up for Ronald Klein. Reeves leads here during this cycle of stops. Man, oh man, this is going to be interesting here at the very end of this race.
Looks like they're both pitting at the same time. You got Thornhill and Klein both pitting now.
Thornhill and Klein on pit road. It'll be interesting to see who gets off pit road first. Usually the car leading does, unless they make a mistake. But we will see. Both cars look pretty even coming down pit road. Nobody looks to be speeding or having any sort of an issue. And we'll check for tires and fuel on Ronald's car. If he was any type of strategy here, which I wouldn't blame him if he did. It'll probably be 4 tires and fuel at a place like Atlanta. But Atlanta tends to eat your tires up.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Both of them are getting 4 tires.
And again, that was a battle for position on the racetrack. Both of them down. Pretty even stop. Thornhill don't speed. I think he was going a bit quick, but he got it wood back up. So they're back out and safe. Mitchell Reeves leads this thing. Well, believe it or not, Rachel, we're 83 laps into this thing.
Yeah. We're flying through this one.
We really are. Well, for the folks at home that just joined us and cycle through, we'll let this all cycle through. What do you think about doing one more crank it up till we go to the end?
Yeah, right. Why not?
Alright, we're going to do one more crank it up, and then we'll go to the end, folks. Here, from Atlanta. We'll see you on the other side here in about 3 laps. Until then, enjoy Crank It Up. Alrighty, everyone, right back here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I hope you enjoyed Crank It Up segment there. And out front is Andrew Schulte with 90 laps of the 125 in the books. And right now, it doesn't look like Andrew or Wally has hit pit road. Those cars will be late coming to pit road, but if you look at the laps to go counter, I believe Andrew can make it to the end on this stop. So a little bit of strategy out of Andrew may get it done here tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see that. But I did notice that Ronald got around Randy Arms, so I'm guessing that would have been to unlap himself. Because I believe
I think, because right now we're one down.
Right.
Ronald's still one down. Got Patton's in front of him, but again, Patton will have to pit here in another 10 laps. Because keep in mind, Patton's on this off cycle. But that off cycle may save him in the long run, because he'll stop here, and he won't have to stop again. And I do believe Ronald Klein will probably have to stop at least one more time here.
Okay, yeah, because Patton pitted before everybody else did.
Exactly,
So,
and so it's going to kind of offset everything as we head towards the end of this race. Here in another, what, really getting close to 25 to go here pretty soon. We're like 32 to go here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Up front, Andrew Shota, Randy Arms leads, waiting on Shota to hit pit road here in the very near future to relinquish that lead back over to Randy. And unless something crazy happens here, Randy's going to get 2 for 2 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway this year.
yeah, I mean, Randy's been consistent the whole night. So, as long as he, doesn't get into have any issues, I mean, he should be able to run the rest of this race, as the leader. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And you look at it, you got to wonder what could have been for Randy if he had not missed those races. I think about that a lot in this situation for Randy. Because he's
yeah.
so good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, if he wouldn't have missed those races, it wouldn't shock me if he would have ended up being the one to win this series.
We'll just think of it this way. If he gets the win tonight, that would be win number 9 in 21 races. I mean, just a great year. It's going to be one of the missing rings like they do for NASCAR, the missing
Right.
ring year. It's going to be a missing ring year for Randy. And it was that type of year. And especially what's going to hurt for him, too, if he goes out next week and wins there in the final race. That would have been the final 4. That's just going to be even worse.
Yeah.
But, man, going towards that spring/summer season, I got to put an eye out for Randy Arms to maybe be the champion number 2 in the over-the-top designs Throwback series. As again, this is the inaugural season for this series. They will be making their return. Of course, John there over the top paints and designs will make all the announcements of when, but I know they're coming back. We know that. That's been publicly announced. What we don't know is exactly when. We got an idea. We got a time frame. We don't know what it's going to look like. But I'm looking forward to season number 2 once we get done with this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially for next year for Randy, I'm sure that this will be a good thing for him because, as long as he doesn't miss any races, he's definitely the person, like you mentioned, to look out for, to be a contender for, for the championship.
And again, as long as we run the current format for the fans at home to understand, as long as your car starts the race, and there's the little, what I would call catch up to this, as long as your car starts the race, you're going to score some type of point, right? However, if you don't start the race at all, if you never make it into the lobby, your car doesn't score any points at all. And that's kind of what hurt Randy here as the race leader comes to pit road. So Shota on pit road, that's going to give it back to Randy here, give him the race lead back. Where we sat, Mitchell Reeves will be second. Jeff Merck will come around to third. Scott Patton, for the time being, will be in fifth. Ronald Klein is going to be behind Brandon Thornhill again, and he'll cycle out to sixth when all of the cycling is done here. Once Shota pits, and then Randy and some of the guys up front. Randy is in a very awkward spot because he's going to have to stop before everybody, some of the cars back here, including Brandon Thornhill. Brandon Thornhill has a shot at making it all the way. What about that?
Yeah, that can definitely throw a wrench in this. Because, I mean, even though he's not, he's not running to be in the top 4, he's been running in front of Ronald all night long. And so Ronald really needs to get around him to be able to, close that points gap between him and Patton, to be able to lock in that fourth position. So.
And what we don't know because of tires, right? Because of tires, we don't know just how far they can run. Right? We got 26 to go. they're going to have to make 25 this time by, and it'll be 19 laps on their tires. You're going to have to make a 45 lap run. I seen somebody hit 44 laps. So if I'm Ronald Klein, now this is just me, I am clutching that car for all it's worth, because if he plans this right, that would give Reeves the win if this works out this way. He's got 15 laps on his, so he goes the furthest. Then it would be Thornhill, and then it would be Klein in third. Remember the magic number we talked about earlier? Top three. Well, it depends on where Scott Patton comes out after pit stops. Ronald Klein could feasibly back his way into this championship, into the Final Four. What about that? Wow.
Yeah. You just never know how this is going to play out. But, I mean, it's going to be really close between him and Patton. Somehow, some way. It's not going to be by much that one of these guys end up blocking it into that fourth position.
Again, I don't think Randy Arms can make it on fuel. He's going to have to stop. Andrew Schulte, who has took 2 tires, looks like on that stop, he can make it on fuel.
Right.
Mitchell Reeves, he can make it on fuel, I'm guessing. And then you get into Jeff Merck, and then some of the guys back here that it's going to be iffy. But then you get into Brandon Thornhill and Ronald Klein, which I truly think can stretch 44 laps out of those race cars.
Right.
So that is going to be the part of this race where we have to pay attention to those guys. Because that would be, if we go the way we think this is going to go, obviously we always work and it's not going to go this way, that would score Ronald third, fourth, somewhere in there if it works out like that.
Yeah. He would probably be fourth, I believe. So
now you look at Scott Patton. You know he's coming down. The question for Patton is, does he take 4 tires? Or does he YOLO it and just take fuel and try to pick up as many spots as possible? Now this is a spots game for Patton, I gotta think.
yeah, for Patton it's probably going to be, just trying to get as many spots as possible. Only thing is, though, like you mentioned, if he just takes fuel and go, or if he gets 4 tires. I personally wouldn't just get fuel and go, because the thing is, because Patton's on this weird off-the-wall pit cycle compared to everybody else, I don't know if he's going to have the tires to make it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And remember when you said 1 point could be the difference? Keep in mind, Patton has led a lap. Ronald Klein has not. That's that 1 point that can make the difference in all this. With 20 to go now from Atlanta Motor Speedway, we're down to the last 20 laps inside your Final Four, and here comes Patton to pit road. Let's see what he does here. Will it be 4 tires? Will it be 2 tires? Will it be no tires? What will he do? Rachel Thornhill, she's going to go with 4. I think she's right, but we'll see if Scott throws a monkey wrench in it. Oh, he had to back up. Oh, nope.
Oh.
No, he was on the line, but it still put him in the box. Oh, he got lucky. I thought he had to back up there for a minute. That was not going to be good. 2 tires on the car. And he is rolling.
And he took off. So he only did 2 tires. But,
I don't know about that.
yeah, that's the only thing. It's because of the way that the tire wear has been on this track so far tonight. I'm afraid that him being on just 2 tires might not be enough to make up enough positions. I mean, we'll see. But I don't know. That's going to be iffy if he's able to get himself up there towards the front.
Right now, as it sits, he is tracking to be probably 9th or 10th. And this is going to be so interesting. I'm going to jump away around Ray Richard right there, and I'm moving him up into P. 17 to go. Where does all the chips fall here? Up front, the one man that ain't worried about it. right at the moment is Randy Arms, but his strategy I don't think is going to work out for him. We will see. I'm kind of worried about his strategy. Oh, Ronald Klein, he's finally gotten around Brandon Thornhill.
Yeah, I did see that, so that's gonna help him out, for sure, because that moves Ronald into 5th. So he still has he needs to at least pass Mark, for that 4th position, and I mean that should help him.
Well, we know Merck, right? We know he's got to stop.
Right.
So Merck stops. That's going to move him to 4th. Or, yeah, 4th, theoretically.
Yeah, 4th.
Randy stops. That's going to move him to 3rd, theoretically. Now, the question becomes, with him being in 3rd, right? There's 8
Right.
points that he would have to gain. That would mean that Scott Patton would be the finishing, correct, for him to get into the
Right.
So, that's where we sit. And you know that 1 point you talked about? Well, right now, Patton setting in 9th. That's that 1 point difference.
Yeah.
And, oh man, just 14 short laps. Decide the fate of who is going to go to the Final 4. Between Ronald Klein and Scott Patton. Boy, oh boy, and Ronald Klein blinking out, and he's not back yet. What in the world? Ronald Klein blinking out, and he's still not back.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
However, he does have Brandon Thornhill on his back bumper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thornhill definitely kind of saved that one because I mean that was out of nowhere.
oh
It
my,
could have been bad. It could have been bad, but he was lucky there.
my heart kind of dropped for Ronald there for a moment. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, not this way.
I know, right? This is the last thing he would need right now.
13 laps to go. Scott Patton scored 9th right now. Ronald Klein scored 5th. Where does the penny land, as you should say, over the next 12 laps for these two drivers?
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one because Klein has to get up there to Mert. And as of right now, you know, he's not there yet. So
We said going into the night that bonus points would be huge. That one lap that Patton led, that one lap could make the difference here in him making or not making.
yeah, definitely. That one lap literally could change this whole thing. Because if Ronald is not able to make up enough position, then yeah, that could definitely throw him out of that
You see,
top 4.
Andrew Schultz took over the race lead. Randy Arms and backed off quite a bit, trying to save enough to get himself to the end. He'd have to go another 10 laps. That would put him 51 laps on a tank of fuel. And I just think that's a little bit outside the reach of what you can.
Yeah, that's a huge risk for Randy to take. So I'm not sure how he's going to conserve that much, if it's even possible, or if he plans on running out of fuel crossing the line.
Yeah, that
It's done before. So
definitely happened before. That is for sure.
that could be what his plan is.
10 laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're down to 9 now. Patton back there still in 9th. We're not going to know how this shakes out, folks, until we take the checkered flag here in about 9 laps. And again, this all got set up as Patton got loose off of turn 2 down the back straightaway a number of laps ago. Got into the inside wall. Randy Arms in the outside wall. Randy just doing everything he can now to make it to the end. Here comes Thornhill. They're going to blast by him. 8 to go here, Rachel.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Randy. And I don't know if he's just gonna be able to hold on for the rest of the way.
Well, with 8 laps to go, yeah, I think probably I think he's gonna force over. Mark back here saving a bit of fuel. Sculta in great shape. He's going to make it. Yeah. And looks like Sculta gonna sneak one out of the bag here tonight. 7 laps to go. My eyes are peeled on the timing screen right now, folks. Keep you posted on what's going on.
Yeah, Mark just pitted. He's on pit road right now.
There's that 4th place spot for Ronald Klein when he comes around here. Well, maybe not, because Ronald's still a lap down. I bet you Mark takes fuel. I bet you he goes fuel only. Slid through his box. Fine there. Goes fuel only. Mark's gonna do right side tires.
Yeah, he's just right side tires right now.
And there it is. Klein moving forward. Up to 4th.
Yeah, that's it. He only did 2 tires and fuel.
Mark coming off of pit road. Here comes Pat. Will he pass Mark? And does he have the tires to hold off Mark for that 8th spot? He's going to get past him, Rachel. Now can he hold him off?
That's the only thing. I mean, Patton does not have he's been on his tires how much longer than Mark? It just depends on if Mark can catch him.
So Randy Arms now. He should be the next one to have to pick up pit road here very, very soon. That would move Mitchell Reeves to 2nd, Ronald Klein to 3rd. And, oh man.
I mean, Mark is catching up to Patton, so Patton's not going to be in that position for long.
No, he's not. Now, who is behind? He got a pretty good lead over John, though, so Patton needs to coast here or not. It looks like 3rd is Ronald's destiny here tonight. So that means, do some math here. That would put Patton in by looks to be 1 point.
Ooh, okay. Wow. So you're saying Klein needs to move up to 3rd?
If Klein goes to 3rd, and Patton stays right here inside the top 10 in 9th, where he's at right now, right? Because John's too far back. John's another lap down.
Right.
You do the math there, that would put Patton 3, so 3 minus 9 would be 6 points. That would lead Patton in by 2. Wow. 2 points. Just keep in mind, he came in, let's go double check this, because he came in with a 7-point gap. Ronald Klein. Right? You add that bonus point he got that Ronald does not have, that's 8 points the difference.
Right.
It would be a 2-point gap. Wow.
Yeah. See, I had a feeling it would be really close between the two. That it was going to end with, like, you know, a very small amount. And, I mean, you're talking about 2 points.
And right now, Andrew Schulter comes to the white flag. 1 to go for Andrew at Atlanta. And look at this, Randy Arms still out there nursing that machine home. Can he make it around another lap?
Yes. See, that's the only thing, is if Randy can make it.
Checkered flag to fly this time by for Andrew Schulter. Great strategy call for the 09. Put him up front here. He'll come out of turn number 4 to pick up the checkered flag here at Atlanta Motor Speedway and give it to Andrew Schulter. Gets the win. Randy Arms, by somehow, some way, is going to somehow coast this car 50 laps to the checkered to come on 2nd. Reeves 3rd. Klein coming off of turn 4, or coming off of turn 2. Or he's already crossed, sorry, he's a lap down. That'll give him 4th. Wally 5th. And Scott Patton officially comes home in 9th here tonight. And unofficially, that'll put Scott Patton in to your final 4 at North Wilkesboro next week. Wow. So it came out to be 3 points, Rachel. That would be your difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
I knew it wasn't gonna be by much.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. The checkered flag is out for Andrew Schulte here at the start-finish line. We'll get an interview with him in just a moment as we catch our breath from a showdown at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's grab Andrew Schulte, playing the right strategy here tonight, coming home with the win out of Bandit Motorsports. Andrew Schulte, Matt, up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man. Checkered flag getting a win here tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
Appreciate it. It was a little bit of strategy there and just keeping the tires under there for that last run, and we pulled out a victory. Can't complain about that.
Well, buddy, on to North Wilkesboro next week. Compete for a championship, my man.
Yeah, good to have a little bit of momentum there. Short tracks are, I feel like I do a little bit better at short tracks. It's a little bit different with the setup of it, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, man, you did a great job coming home with the win. You're going to have to compete with Rob Haynes, Mitchell Reeves, you, and Mr. Patton. Should be our final four. What's it going to take to outrun those drivers next week?
Well, if it can come down to fuel strategy and tires again, I think I got it in the bag. But we'll we'll see. It's three real strong drivers, and I think Mitch won when we went there at the beginning of the season, and Scott finished second, and I was third. So it should be an interesting race.
Well, man, congratulations, bringing her home number one here tonight at Atlanta. Anybody you'd like to thank, buddy?
Shout out to the Bandit teammates. Good to see Wally got a top 5 there. That's neat to see. Shout out to Chris for spotting for me there and playing a little crew chief. He's always got the best advice there, so couldn't ask for anything better there.
Well, again, buddy, congratulations, bringing her home with the win here tonight from
Appreciate
Atlanta
it.
Motor Speedway, my man. All right, there you have it. Your winner here tonight, Andrew Schulte. Let's see if we can get people from Randy Farms up here. Hey, Randy, it's Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, but I got you.
Alrighty, man. Played some strategy. Come home second tonight. Led the most laps. Great job getting that car to the start-finish line. 51 lap run there at the end.
Yeah, had to save some fuel there at the end and save some tires. Had a really fast car. Took 2 tires on that first stop and actually blew the left rear tire out. That's why I had to pit so early on my second time. Had the meatball flag pop up because of the blown tire. So, if that wouldn't have happened, I think we probably would have won the race. I would have been able to stay out a few extra laps and not have to save some fuel there at the end. But all in all, it was a good race. Had fun racing with Schulte and Mitchell and Scott there. Those guys are in a tight points battle to get to the championship race. We'll see how that turns out. But all in all, it was a good race. Glad to bring her home P2 there at the end.
Well, man, you did a great job, P2. Great year so far for you. We head to North Wilkesboro next week. You might can pick you up one more win before the end.
Haven't really raced a whole lot on that track, at least with these cars. So not too sure what to expect. But yeah, we'll give her all we got. Try to stay out of the championship battle the best I can. Be nice if I could just get out front and those guys could battle behind me. But we'll have fun. It's been a fantastic year. Had a blast over here. So hopefully we'll be able to do this again.
Alrighty, man. Well, again, congratulations. Dude.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, we'll grab Mitchell Reeves up here in the 02 and get a word with him. Hey, Mitchell Reeves, Matt up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Man, it is good to finally talk to you.
I know, right? It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has.
Well, buddy, top 3 here tonight. Congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was a good race. We finally showed up, and I feel like we're one of the top cars here tonight, and we brought it home P3, which isn't where we want to be next weekend, but the way the Cup Series fell, I'm just fortunate and glad to be in the top 4 going to North Wilkesboro.
Oh man, you get to go to North Wilkesboro, fight it out for a championship. Come next week, man. It's what, 23 weeks next week that we've been fighting since September, and then it'll all come down to North Wilkesboro next week.
Yeah, that's where it started, and fortunately back then we ended up grabbing the win there. So hopefully history will repeat itself. But there's going to be 3 really tough guys that's going to be wanting to swing for it. I know Schultz is in it, Rob Haynes, and I believe Ronald Klein might have got in there for the 4th spot. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's going to be a heck of a battle. Schultz has been really strong lately, and I've raced him a long time, and I know with what we got on the line, it's going to be throwing the kitchen sink at it. And I've never won a loose Lugnuts championship as long as I've been here, and I've every time I've been in the grasp of it, something's happened. So maybe we can change that around.
And for buddy, well, it's going to be interesting. Either way here as we close out this race here tonight, and it's going to be interesting too who got in. I did some math myself. I was showing Scott in, but of course we'll see whenever we get this tallied up. It was going to be unbelievably close.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it was really tight between all of them, and we would have loved for everybody to get into it. With Jeffrey Murdoch and Ronald and Randy Arms, but it just hadn't fallen the best way for the team this year. But I think we got at least 1 for sure going, and hopefully 2. But like I said, we're going to give everything we got going in North Wilkesboro next weekend, and regardless, I've had an absolute blast this year, no matter what the circumstances become next week. So
alrighty, man. Well, 1 a year for you, man. We will see you next week, my friend, when we go over to North Wilkesboro Speed.
Appreciate it. Gotta give you a shout out to my fiance, Caitlin, for everything she does for me on and off the track. We got real racing season starting Saturday. I think we're both just about as excited as we can be about it. Can't wait, love her to death. Huge shout out to Overtop Motorsports, Ronald, Jeffrey Mert, Brandon Thornhill, and our little charter guy, Randy Arms, for everything they've been doing this year. It's been a blast. And last, certainly not least, you guys up in the booth. Been a blast watching y'all this year. Can't wait to continue watch for hopefully years to come.
And of course, well, it should be a lot of fun when we head over to North Wilkesboro Speedway. And yeah, we're gonna let you go because I got to do some maintenance on what I called there a while ago. So I'm gonna let you go here, and we're gonna do some after the race maintenance.
10-4, thank you, Matt.
10-4, man. Well, Rachel, I got a bit of a development, just a small development. Well, I was counting points at 1 point per position. However, I failed to realize, if you're looking back, there is some situations where that is not the case. So, if you go 5th to 6th, it's a 2-point gap. 7th to 8th is a 2-point gap. 9th to 10th. Yeah. Well, let's break out our calculators.
Oh.
Alright. So, Ronald Klein, P4 here tonight. Got Patton, P9. There was an 8-point gap. Let me go math real fast. Folks, I'm going to put you on hold screen while I work this out. Because I hate to be wrong here, so I'm going to go math myself. Alright. You with me there, Rachel? This could be fun.
I'm here.
While I was on the air math. Why not? So break out the calculator. Alright. So, with Royal Klein coming home 4th, that is a difference of, let's see. Now, this is going off some of the old points from last week, so I can kind of gather this up. Right, so 2, 4, 6. I'm wanting to say an 8-point gap.
Okay.
It is possible we could have a tie.
Oh,
or
wow.
Ronald climb by 1. It's either going to go tie or Ronald climb by 1. We're going to stay on the air long here, folks. I'm going to try to give the admins enough time to get these results posted to Dan Weaver, because I want to figure this out. So we're in a holding pattern here for the first time ever. What a way to end out the year, right?
Right.
We're in a holding pattern, looking at points, because it was my mistake. The top 5 are 1 point per position, but, and there is a big but to that. There is a big but that may not be the way it goes. So, let's see here. So let's see. 4th, that would be 1 point to 5th with a bonus point. No. That would be 4th to 5th would be 2. So basically, 4th to 5th it's a 2-point spread without the bonus. Oh my goodness. I think Ronald Klein's in the playoffs. Wow. Sorry about that, folks. My math was off during the broadcast. I think Ronald Klein is in the playoffs. Now, let me go grab Ronald.
That you made up that many points.
Hey, Ronald, it's Matt in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
We're sitting over here with the calculator out. And I think it's going to be close, but there's a chance you may have made the Final Four.
I just released the points, and barring anything, right now the unofficial results, Mitchell Reeves comes in at 1,497 points. Andrew Schulte comes in at 1,494 points. Rob Haynes comes in at 1,476 points. Ronald Klein, 1,471 points. Scott Patton, 1,469 points.
Ooh.
Jeffrey Merck, 1,447 points. Judd Danielson, 1,440. And John Pansula, 1,430. So, yeah, it was very close for the top 4, or for the 4th and 5th position between Scott Patton and myself. And if this stands, it looks like 2 points was the difference.
And 4, man. Well, I tell you what, we were calling it. I got to looking after the race because, normally I do point per position leagues, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's 2-point gaps here. That kind of threw my math off, but so close. Me and Rachel talked about it all night. It was going to be so close between you two. How does it feel, Ronald, officially point your way in?
I feel like crap because my teammate Jeff Merck had a shot at a very good finish tonight, and he blew a right front tire and had to go pit, and then he ended up passing Scott Patton. So really, I would have felt great if it had been on speed. It kind of sucks that I made it because of somebody else's misfortune in my own team. And I know Scott Patton was faster than me, but he had a mistake. So I wish that I could have done it on speed, but I'll take it all the same. It'll be good to make the Final Four in one of these series and go represent over the top designs. And try to, we've been down on speed all year, but I'm gonna practice all week. Actually, to be completely honest, I'm practice all week for North Wilkesboro and try to pull out a miracle win here.
And 4, man. Well, one thing about it, at least you get one of those fancy player cards now.
Copy of that.
You got one of those. Well, man, go try to get you a championship next week on it.
Copy that. Appreciate it.
No problem. Well, Rachel. Well,
We did call it. We did say it was going to be extremely close, and it was a 2-point difference.
wow. Holy cow. Well, let's talk to the other spectrum of that, Scott Patton. Let's get him up in the, give him a talk here. Hey, Scott, it's Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Matt, what's going on?
Well, buddy, come out champion last night. Tonight, you're unofficially missing out the Final Four by 2.
That's what Mitchell and I were just talking about. Are we doing double points? I think that might be the difference.
Oh, dude, it is so close, brother.
Did Ron get in at least?
Yeah, Ron is in by 2 points unofficially.
All right, good for him at least. So, where are the bonus points? If I led a lap, did I lead a lap? No.
Yep, you had a lap, you got 1 bonus point. That gave you an 8 gap. And then the way it worked out, each position, like 5th on back, was point gaps. So you barely, and I mean barely, by a smudge missed it. Right.
Did they count? Here's the real question, Matt. Did they count the points that Maverick earned tonight?
I don't know. Go look.
We'll have to go back and get an official ruling on that. What do you think?
And 4. We'll do that. Man, what a night.
Yeah, that was, man.
Well, while we're on air here, y'all made your broadcaster look like an idiot because I was counting 1 point from vision all night. So, and then after the race, I'm like, wait a minute, let's go to a holding screen here. And me and Rachel here had our calculators out trying to sort this thing out. What a night it was. Yes, Scott did lead a lap. That was 1 bonus point to Scott. Even comment section are commenting on this. But Scott, what a night it was, buddy.
Yeah, that is. It's awesome that these, it just shows the talent level in these fields, man. Ron, Mitchell, Randy, Andrew, Wally, all these guys, like, an entire season. How many races have we done, Matt? Do you know? Like
22 was tonight.
22? Yeah. 22 races, and it comes down to pretty much that. Not to say that I was given in by any means, but, man, I was definitely surprised. But, yeah, one bad night, and that's how close it is. So that's how the story goes. We'll bring it home in North Wilkesboro. I guess we got nothing to lose but to go for the win next week. What do you say?
10-4, man, and I'm double checking everything on the point side of things. And yep, you scored a bonus point, buddy, but it just wasn't quite enough.
What if so we're out by 2, right? You said or 1.
Now let me go double check that. The points are up here. You are out by the 2.
Including the lap led, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's say even. So it probably would have stung even more if we got the pole, right? And then we're out by 1.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm proud of
I'm not going to make you feel bad here, but I kind of am. So that 2 points you're out to literally 1 position on the racetrack.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause it's double points.
Uh-huh. 1 position, brother.
See, why couldn't we could have just ended the broadcast 10 seconds ago, Matt? I would have thought that there was no hope.
Oh, hey, I'm brutally honest broadcasting over here at Extreme 7TV.
I hear you, but man, for those guys at Bandit Motorsports, Andrew and Rob, I assume that they're in comfortably, right? Should be Andrew, Rob, Mitchell, and Ron. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct, sir.
Which they're teammates too, right? So it's like 2 Bandit against 2 of Over the Top.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at here.
That should make a heck of a broadcast and heck of a battle next week, I'm hoping.
And for Rachel, you got any opinions on this?
Oh yeah, I was just letting you guys converse. But yeah, we're good. No, I mean, yeah, honestly, I knew it was going to be really close. I just didn't think it was going to be by 2 points. Because we, obviously we didn't know about the double points and everything. So, yeah.
Hey Matt, let me throw this at you and Rachel. So, if woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? If I gained 1 position, what's the tiebreaker, right? Because we would have been tied then.
Yes, they would have been tied, and do not have the answer.
Maybe wins on the season. That sounds good, right?
Right. Nevertheless, man, great job, dude, coming home with at least a great finish. The Cup Championship Sunday night. I guess you can go get you a win at North Wilkesboro now.
Yeah, we're going to go for that win, and more importantly, we're going to look for a Bandit Motorsports championship between Andrew and Rob. We're going to get them up there, support them, and look for a great battle, clean racing, another green flag run the entire race. Man, this Loose Lugnuts series has got a reputation now for these long green flag runs. Next week, I think at North Wilkesboro with the uphill, downhill will certainly be the test of that. So looking forward to that championship round. It all comes down to next week. First, the stripe takes it all, and we will be there behind the wheel.
Well, looks like I gotta go make some fancy player cards again this week.
All right. Let me know if you need some screenshots. I'll get you hooked up.
And for buddy, you're always good at that. Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot to mention that on air. All the fancy cards y'all seen in Sunday night's broadcast, the screenshots were provided by Scott Patton. Big shout out to Scott Patton. I did not have a replay of the cup cards. And I was like, hey, Scott, can you hook me up? And he's like, sure, buddy. That's pretty much how the conversation went, right?
That is. I always got your back, Matt.
And
Best out there.
But,
So,
well, I don't know. We might have to talk to Josh about that. We might have to have a debate. See, I've been trying to get Josh to come race and decide that debate, but he just won't do it yet.
Which debate on the?
On the broadcaster, like the best broadcaster, fastest broadcaster.
Oh yeah, I hear ya. Maybe we can put out a poll at the end of the season. What do you think?
Yeah, just put us on a racetrack. Josh, if you happen to watch the end of this, I'm totally peer pressuring you into racing on our racing. I will find you a wheel, my friend.
If we put you and Josh on the track, I will personally put up something well worthwhile.
Well, and we got a witness here. We got Rachel here as a witness for this.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So, this interview has went off the rails, but great run tonight, Scott. We'll see you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Sounds good, Matt. Appreciate all you guys' help during the week there at Extreme Sim TV. Rachel, appreciate all your support and help during the broadcast there. And we will catch you next week in North Carolina.
All right, see you in North Carolina,
All right.
Scott Patton.
See ya.
All right, there we go, Rachel. What a night it was.
Yeah, definitely not what we expected.
Alrighty, folks. Well, we'll come at you from North Wilkesboro next Tuesday evening. Final Four showdown next Tuesday. Until then, for Rachel and Matt in the booth, it's been a great night. We hope everyone is safe. We'll see you next week. Rachel, as always, great job.
Thanks, you too. I mean, this was fun. Looking forward to next week.
All right, guys. We'll see you in North Wilkesboro here next week. That interview went so